I'm Shirley Rose, and this is Balanced Health, Your Body, Your Choice. It's a show dedicated to helping baby boomers live healthier, quality lives through a simple, balanced approach to health.
And I'm Joe Costello, the resident health activist for Balanced Health. Shirley and I both want to stress that we believe in a common sense approach to health and that you don't have to be a health expert to be healthy. Today joining us is Jerry Rose, and I never thought I'd actually have this honor. I've been introduced by him so many times. I consider it a great honor to be the one introducing. The man is in the house, the cornerstone of this ministry. Jerry, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming on board.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's good to be a part of this program because I've been really excited about a health show. We've talked about it and talked about it and talked about it and just never did anything about it. But as part of our new ministry focus, we felt that it would be not just important but vital that we have a health program. And let me explain part of the reason, because the foundation of health is based on three aspects. First of all, your spiritual health, and especially as you age and you're facing the various kinds of challenges that we face with age and so forth.
Mortality.
And
yes.
Yeah, and more calories. First of all, spiritual health. And then the second is your financial health, because if we have our finances in order and we have taken time to prepare that and be good stewards of them, then our aging years are going to be a lot more pleasant. And the third, of course, is our physical health, because living long, which most boomers are going to, is one thing, but living longer healthy is another thing, because the aging years can get pretty miserable if we haven't prepared ourselves physically with what we're calling balanced health.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you call yourself a health activist, and so maybe we should just explain what that is.
Well, I think the title is appropriate for me, Shirley, because of physical challenges that I've had in my life and physical challenges that my children have had in their life. I have taken it upon myself, I activated myself to educate myself and to find other means other than conventional medicine, to join in with conventional medicine, to use the best of technology, but also use what God put on this earth. Every plant, every herb has a purpose. There are healing herbs, there are eating herbs, and same with plants. God also made an incredible machine called our body. Mm-hmm. And its natural, its innate program is to heal. It's not to be sick, it's to heal. It always wants to heal. It's only when we overburden it with toxins and some of the things we'll be talking about throughout this show that we start losing the battle. So it's just reopening people's eyes and minds to the fact that God made you to be healthy. Your body is a healing machine. Embrace that, and Jerry, quality of life will be better.
Yeah, and no one is going to take care of our health like ourselves. No one is going to be as concerned about your health as you are. And so if you don't take care of it and you're not concerned about it, then no one else is really going to be. One of the things that I wanted to mention too, that we have known Joe Costello and his family, his parents, for years, and quite a few years ago, I think about 12, 13 years ago, we had at TLN had begun to feel that we really, in order to have a balanced ministry, should offer products that help people to be healthier. So we went out and began to talk to a lot of different groups. We even brought a chemist in to look at some products that we were looking at. And I remember one of the products that was a very popular product at the time, the chemist said, well, it won't hurt you. And I said, come on, that's not good enough. Will it do you any good? And he said, well, it's not going to hurt you. So I said, we can't use that one.
Not the answer you were looking for.
That's not the answer I was looking for. And then we looked at another one, and you could have gotten it off any shelf, and it was way overpriced. And about that time, Joe had made the decision to start Kalia Health Nutrition. And so I went to him because I knew the family. I knew how much the family was oriented toward good health.
Well, it was their passion. And
it was their passion.
For many, many years.
Yeah, and I felt it was a product I could trust and people that I could trust. So I went to Joe and I said, we'd like to begin to work with Kalia Health Nutrition and began to offer the products that you were producing. And today we have the Total Living Drink that we're producing through Kalia Health Nutrition. But the bottom line was, this is too important not to be working with somebody you can trust with product that you had absolute confidence in, and that's where we have been with Joe Costello.
And Joe, I like to tell people that your company is Kalia Health and Energy, and your daughters are Kylie and Leah, and that's where the name came from. Tell us just a little bit about your company.
Well, it was started originally, Shirley. I dealt with chronic fatigue syndrome in 1986, and they did not even really have a name for it back then. And it was just a few months after I was married. So my wife looked up to the Lord and said, okay, what have you given me here? 3 or 4 months after we're married, this guy can barely get up out of bed. And it was a real journey, Shirley. And what happened was I would walk into one doctor's office after another. They didn't know what to do with me because my lab tests were good. So they would pass me to a neurologist and they would pass me to a cardiologist. I went through them all, and they all had one thing in common. They all gave me some type of antidepressant drug.
Wow.
Because they all said, you're depressed. And I said, if you felt like this, you'd probably be depressed too. And I knew at that point in time that taking things like Valium and what have you, when I was so fatigued that I could barely walk, just didn't seem to make, again, going back to God's design, does that make common sense in God's design? And so I wanted to be able to achieve a life where I could feel like I needed to feel every day to do what I need to do. And you know what, in this show, Balanced Health, what we're telling people is this: you don't have to eat tree bark, burn incense, and sing Kumbaya 24/7 in order to be healthy. If in order to be healthy, thank goodness. Well,
Yeah.
but
I don't eat sawdust.
I
Okay.
went through that whole fanatical regime. My journey, we don't have time enough for the whole testimony, but I went through that thing of fanaticism. I made myself healthy by being fanatical, but I stood with the fanatical thing. So now I'm going through fanatical rehabilitation. I'm a recovering health fanatic, okay? And I'm a happier and more peaceful guy. So let's define health this way on this show. We want you to be able to achieve what you need to do in your daily life and feel good when you do it. That's really how simple health is.
Yeah.
You know, as you guys know, I'm a principal in several different businesses. I coach 2 football teams, 2 basketball teams, and 2 baseball teams a year.
Oh my goodness.
Coaching wasn't good enough. I had to wind up being the commissioners of the very leagues that I'm in. I'm also a father. I'm a husband. I have a walk with the Lord. I'm involved in our church and so on and so forth. Why am I saying all this? I'm able to do what I need to do. I consider myself healthy. And that's how I define, and that's how I'd like to define on this show, what health is.
Intentional health.
And also, you did get your healing through good diet, through supplements, and so that's one reason why you're so passionate about this. So we feel really good about endorsing Kylia, about endorsing your products, because it's a Christian company and they're very high quality products. We're not going to sit and say that, you know, these are the only products that are good, but they are some of the very best that you can find, and that's why we feel so good about it.
Well, we feel good about being with this ministry because, quite frankly, we have seen, you know, products be touted as a cure from everything from cancer to canker sores. You refused to entertain that type of platform, and even as the owner of the company, I refuse to be on that type of platform.
Yeah.
It's so much more about supplements. It's about everything. It's about your joy. It's about what you put in your body. It's about your exercise. It's a well-rounded thing, and that's what we're here to tell people is, you know, inform them on the whole picture.
Well, one thing that's coming up is we're going to have a lot of physicians on as guests. We're going to be talking about a lot of different topics, from heart health to women's issues to pediatrics, all kinds of things. But one of the things I'm rather excited about is Dr. Walt Larimore will be joining us from time to time. And Dr. Walt is what is it? This country's family doctor.
Family doctor,
Yeah,
yeah.
and he has drwalt.com as his website. He's been on Focus on the Family, just has a wonderful list of credentials. And Dr. Walt is going to be joining us in person here in the studio sometimes. He's also going to be joining us by phone to answer some of your medical questions. Joe's not a physician, but we're having a lot of doctors on, and Dr. Walt will be around to answer questions for us and to participate in the show too. We're really excited about that.
Could I just mention one thing that I'm really, really excited about? On this show today, am I correct? You're going to be talking about healthy hot dogs?
We are talking about healthy hot dogs.
He's giving it away, though.
Do you realize how important that is to people like me?
Yeah, because we both share something. I love hot dogs. You love hot dogs. This show, Jerry Rose, is for you.
I've never been a hot dog eater, but anyway.
On Balanced Health, you don't have to give up hot dogs, but what we're talking about are hot dogs that won't kill you over time.
We're going to inform you
That's the important thing.
We're going to inform you about good hot dogs.
Good hot dogs.
Well, on the agenda today is how to enjoy coffee, soda, pancakes, and like Jerry said, even hot dogs. Now that might sound like a health show, but guess what? It really is. Up next, we'll talk about how you can protect yourself from liver cancer with a cup of Joe. Don't go away. Nutrition in the News is next.